English for Childcare, Chapter 6, Infants, Activity 19. This is called Sharing Safety Tips. So you and your classmates will work in small groups, groups of 3 or 4. And the teacher will assign your group one of the categories below. And that's what you'll do in the first step, all right? And when you're in the first step with that group, you need to discuss how to prevent injuries for that category. And you need to write down 2 or 3 important baby safety tips. Use a command, that's the imperative verb form, to write these tips. Then, in step 2, you're going to talk to classmates from other groups. And you're going to ask them, what safety tips do you have? You'll listen and discuss their safety tips. And if you think it's a good idea, write it down. You'll share your tips too. So that way everybody will share tips. I'll just read what the categories are, and then you'll be ready to work in small groups. So these are safety tips for babies. So one category is preventing injuries in the crib. And here's one example. How can you prevent injuries in a crib? One example is keep pillows and stuffed animals out of the crib. Keep them out of the crib. Keep pillows and stuffed animals out of the crib. Why is that safe? Talk about that with your classmates. Another category is preventing injuries from vehicles. What kind of vehicles? Cars, vans, buses, motorcycles, bicycles. What other vehicles can you think of? And especially, what actions could help prevent injuries from vehicles? The third category is preventing injuries from falls. Of course, babies will fall down. How can you prevent them from falling down or prevent them from getting injured when they fall down? The next category is preventing burns. You'll remember we talked about burns in a previous chapter. Different ways to become burned, to get burned. And now you're thinking about ways to prevent burns. The next category is prevent choking, suffocation, and cuts. You remember choking? Choking is the inability to breathe because something gets stuck in the throat. Suffocation, suffocation, suffocation. 4, 3. Suffocation, that's the noun, and suffocate, 3, 1. Suffocate, suffocate is the verb. If someone, like a baby, cannot breathe because something is covering the nose and the mouth, because we breathe through our nose and our mouth, right? So if you cover up the nose and the mouth, then the person, the baby, will suffocate. Uh-oh. Now, cut. You know cuts, right? You can cut yourself on something sharp, like a knife, or a piece of paper, or a sharp rock, or something pointed. So how can you prevent choking, suffocation, and cuts? All right, now you and your classmates talk these over. Go ahead.